in the heart of an icy wonderland where snowflakes danced gracefully in the air, there lived a penguin named Pip. Now, Pip had a peculiar habit, besides penguins being flightless birds that can't swim, he was the only penguin in his colony that loved to dance. He'd wiggle and jiggle, twist and shout, slide and glide all over the ice, and he did it with such enthusiasm, his fellow penguins would gather around, and instead of appreciating his passion, they would jeer and make fun of him. "Look at Pip, the dancing fool," they'd say, or "What's gotten into Pip? Is he trying to attract a mate with his silly dance?" But Pip didn't care. He loved to dance, and nothing was going to stop him. One particularly harsh winter, a blizzard struck the penguin colony. The wind howled like a hungry wolf, and the snow piled up, making it difficult for the penguins to move around. The temperature dropped so low that even the bravest penguin huddled indoors, trying to stay warm. 4 days, the storm raged on, and the penguins began to feel the effects of the cold. They huddled together, their feathers ruffled and their eyes dull with the chill. Suddenly, an idea struck one of the penguins. "Let's bring Pip out and watch him dance," he suggested. "Maybe his silly antics will cheer us up a bit." The others agreed, and soon they were all gathered outside, calling for Pip. Now, Pip, being the kind soul that he was, couldn't bear to see his friends feeling down. So he waddled out into the storm, a big smile on his face. At first, his friends laughed, finding amusement in his struggle to keep his balance in the heavy snow. But then, something unexpected happened. As Pip started dancing, his movements became more pronounced, his steps more daring. In the midst of the raging blizzard, Pip danced with all his might. He slid and glided, spun and leaped, and his laughter echoed through the icy air. His joy was contagious, and slowly a smile crept onto the face of one penguin, then another, and soon they were all laughing and cheering. "Well done, Pip," they shouted. "You've warmed our hearts." Then one of the penguins said, "Quick, Pip, do that wiggle dance you do. It'll melt the snow off our wings and we can fly back home." And that's exactly what Pip did. He wiggled and jiggled, and after a while, the snow began to fall off the penguins' wings. Soon they were all airborne, flying back to their cozy nests, their spirits lifted by Pip's dance. From that day on, Pip was no longer the dancing fool, but Pip the hero. The penguins understood that it wasn't just about the dance, it was about the joy it brought to those around him, especially during the darkest and coldest days. As for Pip, he continued to dance. Not for the applause, but because his heart loved to move to the rhythm of the icy wind and the falling snow. He was the penguin who danced, and his dance was a celebration of life in the most inhospitable of places. And that, my dear friends, is the story of the penguin who danced. A story that reminds us that sometimes all it takes to brighten someone's day is a little bit of joy and a whole lot of heart. Just like Pip, you have the power to touch the lives of those around you in ways you may never know. So go out into the world with a smile on your face and a song in your heart, and don't forget to dance whenever the occasion calls for it. Thank you for joining me on this adventure. If you enjoyed this tale, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you haven't already, subscribe and become part of our story. We've got lots more adventures waiting for you. Until next time, happy reading, and remember, a little bit of joy goes a long way.